Yep, I'm live. And OpenHeimer is also here. I'll just reduce the volume and we will simply begin. And I have seen that my streams are lagging due to some reason. I don't know why, but maybe it will get better when I get a better Wi-Fi. For now, it is how it is going to be. And it does not happen from the start of this stream. It only happens when I have been streaming for more than 1 hour. Reduce the volume a bit. Yep, that is fine. cd https server.c. Shit, it is showing error. OpenSSL not found. Shit, how did I fix it last time? Last time, how did I fix it? I manually copied some stuff from some place to another place, and that is how it worked. Server. Okay, and so that is running, but shit. Uh, um, sh make.sh, and that will break, I suppose. That does not break. So why is this happening? I'm getting an error here. OpenSSL.file not found. Which OpenSSL? It is inside Homebrew. And what is the folder from which my LSP sees the files? Server.c, like, where is this file? String.h. It is in command line tools, SDK, Mac, user, and stuff. Go to the end, copy this whole thing. Bad path. Okay, so I have to, what do I have to do? I have to go to /opt/homebrew/opt/OpenSSL/bin, not bin, include, slash, yes, slash, no, homebrew/include, yes, homebrew/include. Inside, do I have open? Yep, I do have OpenSSL. I'll just have to move this thing. Okay, copy this thing, copy opt/homebrew include OpenSSL, and yes, recursive, and copy this in recursive format. Copy everything that is inside this file or folder into /library developer command line tools SDKs /Mac OS X 15.2 SDK include. Okay, user/include permission design. Shit, sudo cp r/opt home brew include OpenSSL. Copy this to library developer command line tools SDKs Mac OS X 15.2 SDK user include password, and does that work? Server.c, that does work. Okay, so far what you have done, we can now run now. HTTP server. Let's make.sh and slash server. And now if I were to go to Postman like that, and I hope screen is not stuck. Yes, and camera is also working. Amazing. Yes, HTTPS. If I were to send a request to this thing, I should get something in back, which I do get. And it says 404. It is error right here because that is what I'm sending. Server.c, go below here. 31 header. I can change the header from here. I can say anything, any number, 100 or 69, and it is right here. Yo, and say yo. I guess that should work. Dot slash server, start the server on port 443 and invalid status code. Okay, okay, okay. That means since I guess invalid status code. HTTPS status codes, responses status codes, list of all the status code information. Okay, they start from 100. Okay, so 100 should be a fine status code. 100 should be a fine status code, and I should get some response here. I do not. The server returned a malformed response. Okay. Malformed response. Let's say 200. That's blank plus plus a dot slash server that dot slash server shit else of I8443 and shit. Quite a few things are working on. This parsec D screen tem with stocks help D. What the fuck? How are all of these things working on port? Amazon AWS. Wait, what? Why is Amazon AWS working here? Kill 554. Am I doing anything related to Amazon AWS? Nope. Else of I443. Yes, that is gone. OBS, yes, that makes a bit of sense. OBS might be using 443 for its stuff. But let me run the server on 443. That should work amazingly. Yep, it does work amazingly. Now, the moment that we have been waiting for. I can finally use this on OAuth, Google OAuth. Shit. Google OAuth authorization documentation. Shit. Nope, I won't be using any client libraries. So I did find some nice documentation which said what are the things that I should be using. Right, obtaining OAuth access tokens. Yes, that is important. Obtaining OAuth access tokens. I will go to my app slash go back and what YouTube stuff. live chat, go on there, recover. Okay, this is my client ID, and let me set up a HTTPS server here. How do I set up a HTTPS server without using curl? Nope, I won't be using curl. I will be using OpenSSL. Okay, let me first delete everything. Write data, nope, don't need it. Right, I need OpenSSL. So I can just copy paste stuff. We want send auth request dot c. Go back, go to the HTTPS server. This server dot c. Copy everything. Nope, I will need a port file, port, connection count, and stuff like that. Paste it, all of that in there. Right, that one is cool. Yes, I don't even need this. Right, these are all the things, and then these OpenSSL functions handle client and stuff. Paste all of this here. OpenSSL load. Yep. Include OpenSSL slash ssl.h and include OpenSSL slash r.h. Right, and after that, inside the main function, I am using threads. Shit, I don't want to just copy paste this. Yes, I don't want to copy paste. But look, yes, abstraction. I am the one who wrote all of that code, so I can copy paste it. Server adder sock variable has incomplete type. Right, for this I have to include stuff like this, or maybe all of this stuff. Paste. Yep, c.json is not here. There is a reason for that. Yes, of course, these functions, extra helper functions, handle SSL and all that stuff. Redefined handle, redefinition of handle SSL. Why? Where is the other part that I am defining SSL? Is complete redefinition. Okay. OpenSSL is also redefined. Client handle SSL. Okay. SSL dynamic request below. And delete this much and this much. Okay. Unknown type SSL. Okay. And these are not redefined. This is this function. Nope. Wait. So which functions have been redefined? File not found. CP, go back to the folder before this and yes, copy c json.c and c json. Right, this one does not exist. C json.h and c json.c into, go back, YouTube stuff and live live chat. Yep. And now go to slash YouTube stuff live chat. Yep, see this one is here and I have to include this. So I will also have to copy the make file from there because why? Because of OpenSSL. But OpenSSL is there, right? Because of OpenSSL. CP go back further. TTPS server make.sh into here sh make.sh server.c is not a file. Yes, and make.sh the file name. What is the file name in this file? It is called send auth rec.c. Okay, and make.sh send auth rec.c send auth rec.c make it out sh make.sh is complete true. True is not defined. Okay, and send auth rec attention recover. Yo, too many errors. What are the errors? Unknown SSL CTX. Have I not included SSL? I have included SSL. Okay, what are the other errors? Unable to call SSL new. That means this thing does not know what is SSL, but I have included SSL here. Okay, it is showing error in here. Connection count. Wait, isn't this supposed to be capital? And buffer size, that is also supposed to be capital. All of these, yep, buffer size, true, false, port, all of these are supposed to be capital. Okay, so something went wrong in copying them from there to here. So, yep, that is why it says SSL not found. SSL new, yep, SSL and error print implication and later do not support implicit. Okay, error, what was the thing before? Error print error fp, error print errors. Yep, that works. And this is SSL unknown type SSL CTX SSL CTX. Yep, that is fine. Now connection count, it is capital. Connection count is capital, and in here I have data in pointer. Okay, null is capital, that works. Buffer size is in capital. Unknown type SSL because SSL is capital, and in here also SSL. Buffer size null is also capital, and is complete a request is complete a request, and true is also capital. Yep, but why did that happen? True is also capital. false is also capital, and true is capital, and false is capital. Any more errors? Nope, doesn't seem like so. Yep, there are some errors pointed to BIO. What the heck is BIO? Error pointer. It is in the SSL file. Okay, because of error. Okay. N send request dot auth. Attention. Recover. Edit. Anyway, it is in the part that I am printing error. Yep. This is the correct way, and the part with which I edited it, that is wrong. Where did I change it? Yep, not sure. Not client sh make dot sh dot slash server. Wait, what is the name? Not slash out. It should. It is exactly the same as the last one, so it should work. And I should get something here. Application out to accept incoming network request. Yep. Allow it. Yes, that is okay. And send auth request. So what do I want this function to do? What do I want this function to do? I want this to be a function that I would call, and in return I would get the keys, and in return I would get the authorization code from Google OAuth API. That is what I want this function to do, and therefore this function should have my authentication keys and stuff. And what is this server supposed to do? The server is supposed to listen to incoming requests and print them. Right, this server is supposed to listen to incoming requests and just print them. For now just print them. And therefore it does not have to care about threads and stuff. Connection count, I can just remove that. And in this part, shit, why am I not getting any error? Client FD, get client index, right? And get client index. I have sent in client ID. I am only listening for one thing at a time, right? So client FD is not something like this. Instead, it is just a integer like that, right? Nope, nope, nope. Do not care about that, and should not care about that. Yep, it is just an integer. Given the address for integer. Yep, that does work. Yep, I guess nothing should break as a consequence of those changes. Yes, I accept a connection, and then I print whatever I got by handle SSL. In that function prints whatever I got, and yeah, that should work. And I can remove the thread stuff that I did or imported. Am I getting any errors? Nope, no errors. Not clang. Sh mail.sh and yep, dot slash out. Let's see if that works. That should work. Yep, that does work. Server dot not server and auth send auth request dot c. Okay, so what do I want this server to be like? I want this to accept an HTTP request and print the whole thing, and In the request line, the first part of the request line tells the protocol that is being used, which will be HTTPS, HTTP, and some version. And the second part of the URL will be the target URL. It will contain the query parameters, which I need. So right now my goal is to figure out how to create this target parameter, and I did create it, right? It requires a few things, and okay, first of all I will just write it down manually and work with it. It has to be HTTPS. I have to redirect the client to something like this. It has to start with this, like this, and it, that is a comment. How do I write comments in C? Okay, double slash. And then what comes after it? Client ID. Client ID for your application. Okay. Question mark client ID slash auth question mark client ID equals my client ID, which is on which is on at some place, which is at client pages require client ID. My client ID is right here. Nope, it is not here. I will have to create. Wait, no, this is this. No, this is not the account. Is this the account? What is the account with which I was doing it before? Nope, this is not the account. This is the account. Application type is web application, and let's call this display live chat and add URIs. Yes, then raghav.h.duckdns.org add URI. Invalid origin. You are using a sensitive scope. HTTPS :// that is cool, I guess. Right, that is cool. Authorize redirect URIs. HTTPS. I have HTTPS grave.duckdns. I have a redirect URI which ends in, it starts with HTTP, which is cool. It is cool. Client ID is this. Okay, client ID is this thing, and what are the other things that I need after client ID? Redirect URI. Redirect URI, which is equal to https://raghv.duckdns.org, then and response type. Let's make it code. Response type equals code and scope. I just an example scope. I want just some example scope. Is there some example scope? Like, I do not literally have a scope. I can look into ChatGPT, what ChatGPT asks when it wants me to log into ChatGPT. Said, why did it take that long? Yep, log out. And now log in. And log in with Google. This URL. See, response type is code. That is what I chose. Client ID. This is the ID that ChatGPT has. And auth, and then OAuth, choose account, something. What I want is not redirect URI. What I want is scope. I will just copy this scope. Maybe that will help me in some way. And I can copy this and copy this, and let's see. Missing required parameter scope. Error details. What is scope? Required details. Flow names equal to general overflow. Invalid request. What is invalid request error? Shit. Yes, what is invalid request error? Invalid request. Invalid request. Invalid request. Access type. Yep. Invalid request. Does it say here invalid request? No, it does not. In here, missing parameter scope. Okay, but it is not scope. Yes, it is missing scope. SCOPE. Now it is much better. Copy that and let's see. Okay, and is okay. I have to run the server, run the server, run the server, run the server, run the server. Dot slash out. Run the server. Server is listening. Server is listening. Okay, okay. Okay, by continuing, yes, continue, 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 continue. I will be redirected. I got it. I got it. Here, this is the request that I got. Motherfucker. This is the request that I got, and in this request, I got the code. I got the code. Okay, and now I think now is the appropriate time to die. Like, yes, of course, it makes sense. Like, after you have got OAuth code after writing. This is the 19th stream that I've been streaming for, and I got the code. Now, after writing a HTTP server using sockets, learning about only a bit about threads, and then HTTPS using TCP OpenSSL for establishing TCP connection, for TLS connection encryption, and I do not have to care about encryption and stuff. So that, and I got it. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, now what do I want this function to do? Okay, I guess I might be happy. Send auth request. Now, what I want this main function to do is this main function should take in nothing, but it should, what should it do? This function, okay, I guess I have to create two functions. One that will return the redirect URL, which is one that will return this URL, which will just char pointer get URL. It will take in nothing and it will return this thing. Return this n, like colons and stuff. Right. This URL get URL and the main function. Right. After getting the URL from my main program function, I will redirect the user to this URL and right. And then I will call the main function. What the main function does is it starts the URL, it starts listening on the server, and after it receives, it starts listening on the server, establishes everything, and after receiving the URL, after receiving the code, it parses it and gets the actual code and sends it back and turns off the server. Right. So I do not have to use the while loop here. I can just omit this so that this only happens once, right? So that this only happens one, except client and all that stuff only happens once, right? And close before closing handle SSL. Should the handle SSL function return to me the the char pointer, the character pointer? I guess maybe handle SSL. Which part is complete? Request handle SSL. Well, well. Since this function is returning a string like this should not return a string like this. Yep, this should not return a string like this. I should use malloc because this is statically typed, because this string is in the context in the stack, and once this function goes out and finishes the memory of this string, the place in which this string is stored will be taken away. So I have to do this URL equals char pointer malloc size. I don't need size of. I need to know the size of that string. Char pointer str equals this thing. Go till the end, copy, paste, right, and size of stir. Right, suspicious uses size of character pointer. Now make this array of characters, right? And then stir copy strcpy, it takes in two strings, right? And the first one is, and let me do size plus one just for safekeeping and stuff. Size plus one. The first one is, I guess, the target where I want to store this URL, and second is stir what I want to store, and then just return URL. That should work. That should work. And yep, this function will return the URL, and the main function will boot up the server. Yes, it settles up all the OpenSSL stuff, then establishes a server, binds the server, listens on the server, prints that the function that I am listening on the server, initializes a client ID, which I can just do here with this client fd and a semicolon, of course, and then I accept a request, then I process it, and handle SSL should return something. What should it return? Here, handle client. In the handle client function, all the magic is happening. Is it? Oh, yes, get response. Get response. This gets the response. No, response is response. Yep. Request. Yes. SSL dynamic read SSL. Yes. Request. This request has the thing. Now I want to create a function which takes in a request and gives me the code that is in that request. This will return a char pointer, and it will say it will be called parse code, and it will take in a charge pointer called s. It will not take in a charge pointer, it will take response. Yep. Not a response, request type called rs, and if here charge pointer s equals rs dot request, and then what is the format of the request? What is the format of the request? Yes, let me turn the server on for a while. Programming CD project YouTube stuff, and let's CD live chat /out. Server is listening. Let me redirect the client again. Yo, Technoblade never dies. Yes. Jatanaga.dns, and yes. Continue, and yep, this is what I get. I have to parse this thing, and I do not have to complete. I know that what I want is in the first line itself. The thing that I have to parse is this. The first thing will say code, and then it will say slash question mark. That makes sense. It will start from wait. Since it will only listen for one request, the first one contains this, and I don't know why is this secondary request. Maybe this is from the this is from browser due to some reason to get some stuff. Okay, so I will traverse through it for int I equals 0, I less than rs dot length I plus plus. Right, and when do I know that I have started to see code? Stir compare. Yes, I can use stir compare. If rcmp stir compare, both of these strings have to be zero ended, null terminating strings. So stir compare code equal to this string. Wait, code starts from this 4 and it goes on till I see a and. Okay, so let me also come and string this is int is code equals, it will start at false, and code equal to yes code equal to, that is what I want. Nope. Wait, I do not have to do this. Yes, I don't have to do this. I can just check if rs dot request bracket I equals to equal to, then I will know. Then I will do is code equal to true, and also I will check if is code equal true. If code is true, then I will go and get everything. Malloc, what is the length of the code? Char pointer code equals char pointer malloc. What can be the length of the code? The maximum length of the code. What can be the max length of code in Google auth 2? Maximum length of the code is 256 byte. Authorization codes have a maximum length of 256. Then this go a little bonkers. We will go with 300, and if code is true, then I know that I have to start getting code, and else if, so that this starts from the next loop. and yes, okay, okay. Um, and it's also index int index will start at 0, which will point to the current character in is code. If that is true, then for nothing, I till rs dot request bracket I is not equal to, and yes, till it is not equal to, and to I plus plus, right, and code bracket index plus 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 equals code bracket index I index plus plus, it should be equal to the current rs dot request bracket I, and after that just return is return code, right, and here if I find nothing of the sort, return null. That should work, I guess. Parse code, that is the function, and request, okay, char pointer code equal parse code, pass in request, which I just got 28, conflicting with parse code. I have to declare the function in here right after parsing the code. I have here the code parser. Yes. Let me make this null terminated. After this, I will do code index equals 0, therefore it is null terminated string. And here I would like to just printf a string with a new line at the end, and the string is the code itself. And then free request dot request, and then free request itself, parsing request to parameter and incapable void. Request just random, it just randomly says g, just like no reason, it just randomly says g. Still error, right? I remove this much. Parsing request to, it is returned by dynamic SSL, so I am supposing read a dynamic SSL. Okay, I won't do the G stuff. I'll remove the G. Okay, I have printed the code and a new line, and then freed the code, and yeah, so that should work. Let me make /out server is listening, and if I were to redirect the user again, for which let me make this so that the main function first of all calls the get URL function. The main function itself calls the get URL. How to redirect user from terminal in Mac. Sudo su and username. Come on. Redirect terminal input and output in. No. ChatGPT. Yes, login. Yes, of course. Login. I hope that stream is not stuck. Yes. And I hope that this is what I'm seeing. Shit. Nope, it is not stuck. That is fine. Cool. And I hope that the thing that I am seeing is the thing that you guys are also seeing. And how much time has it been? It has been 15 minutes. Okay, I have a URL that I want the user to be redirected to from the terminal on Mac. How do I do that? Hmm. In C. How do I do that in C? System library, system open, comma slash and this. Okay, that is cool. That is cool. System open and stuff. Okay, I have declared the main function. Nope, inside the main function now I have to parse. Yep. Before doing any of these, before running the server, I will just simply redirect the user. Char pointer URL equals get URL. It takes in nothing, and then system uh, bracket system bracket is open space. Shit, I have to concatenate those things. This and now comes the URL, which is %s. Can I do this? URL. No, I cannot do this. Open. Yeah, I can do this. This is something that I can do. Excel CP. This directly replaces the current process with the open command. The system function executes shell commands. Open this, runs the macOS open command to launch default web browser with the given URL. Alternative, use XLP if you want a more direct approach without using system. This directly replaces the current process with the open command. Would you like an implementation that handles errors more gracefully? Expel open. Let's do this one then. XECLP Excel. First is a file pointer. EXCELP. Yep. File pointer. Why is it open? It says open. Okay, and the second also says open, and the third is the URL itself. Should that work? I think so. Message make dot slash out. Will I be redirected? Fucking hell, fucking go. But the process ended. I do not want the process to end. Yes, is using EXECLP, the process ends. I don't want that. I don't want that. But I don't. But I have the URL as a separate char pointer. That makes sense in some way. Okay, PID fork and shit, that is way more complicated. I have this is my URL, and then PID process ID fork explanation fork creates a child process, and I end that child process. Fork PID. Okay, if PID minus 1. Okay, if PID is minus 1, then return else. If PID equals 0, then do child process execute. Execute this thing, and That is cool. That is cool. That is cool. PID fork and send auth request. I should make the main function go up a bit so that it is like at the top and stuff, which it should be. The main function, yep, like that. And conflicting with create context shared. I have to declare all of these functions. 17, and then this function, and then 37, and copy paste. Yep, that seems like correct. That seems fine. And yes, here I'll do PID T equals PID equals for, and if PID equals -1, it has to come inside brackets of PID equals -1, then print error, p error, fork field, and return with 1. p error, yep, fork failed, and return with 1. Yep, and else if it is 0, why should it be 0? Else if it is 0, then do the happy thing. Else if PID equals 0, then do everything. Paste this, right, and get the URL, call the Excel function, and yeah, otherwise yep, p error, that is Excel didn't work. Then here I will say redirection didn't work due to some reason, and then printf redirected person, line, that should work. sh make.sh.slash out. Okay, server didn't work. The server didn't start. sh.slash out. Fuck. The server didn't start. Okay, I should not redirect the person unless the server has started. That makes sense. Send auth request. Wait, I can make this thing a function of its own. Yes. It will be called. It won't return anything, and it will be called redirect client, and return 1. It cannot return. Okay, then don't return. I can exit from here though. Exit with 1, right? And I will only call this function when I am happy enough to call this. 25. This code base is getting bigger, and this is just one part of the whole application. This is just the part that gets the code from the URL. Right. Listen. Yes, after listen, then I will do redirect client sh make.sh.slash out. Yes. Why is it already in use. Wait, is it running? Yes, it is already in use. My bad. /out. Bad address. Bad address. And why did it start 2 times? And send auth request. Bad address, bad address, bad address, bad address. Bad address running. Okay, this part was printed twice. Redirect client. Printf redirected client. Redirected person. Yes, which I'm doing after listening. Listen and then do this. Except, I guess at the except part it waits, right? It has to wait. Yes, it does wait because the process does not end. Received something. No. Redirected person, but I did not redirect the person. HTTP server listening. Redirection didn't work. Redirection didn't work. And send auth request. I am creating a new process for this. I can create a new thread. And what does it mean to create a new process? One process can have multiple threads, but one different processes are different processes, I suppose. Redirect client, yes. But why is it being called twice? I'm getting a redirected person was printed. That is cool. But it will be printed in any case. Does not matter. Let me just not do that. I'll just do that, but instead of doing this and doing this expel thing, I will do printf %s new line the URL, and this thing will be commented out. Let's do that. That's it. Make .sh.out. Yo, that is the URL. Redirection didn't work. Fine. The server is listening. Let's see. Yep. First, the interstellar music. Listen. It's gravity. Yes, the music is there. And do this. And then continue. And what do I see? Received something. And I got the code here. And wait, why does it say this received something? Who started this new process? Response sent successfully. Received something. Yes, but it received something. That is cool. I got the code, and that is what the main function should return, but also it should be also able to redirect the person. Not this function, not this, not today. Send auth request. What this function does is not redirect client. This will not do any of this stuff. It will just not even this. Nope. Not this. None of this. None of this. simply gets this and oh, not even this. Yes. First, I will get the URL, redirect the person there, and then call the main function. I guess this is pretty much done. I just have to clear off all the statements, all the senseless statements. Handle client, this should return a jar pointer and it has the code. At the end, it should return the code, return code, right? And delete all this printf stuff. Connection accepted here. Delete all of that. Don't even print the code. Right? And handle client. It returns this and then create context and handle SSL. Yep, that is the function. Handle SSL and calls handle client and it gets jar pointer code, gets the code and don't have to do this and just return code. Make this to jar pointer. Return code. Okay, code does not exist at that point, so jar pointer code, right? And I have to change the definition. 25 handle SSL and make this jar pointer and where is handle client? Handle redirect client create user. Where the heck is handle client? Oh, I don't have to do that. Handle SSL jar pointer equals this. Jar pointer code equals this. Right, close server, close everything. Don't return 0. Return jar pointer code. Well, this cannot be the main function. Yes. This function will be called something else. This cannot be. Get code. And this will return a jar pointer. And that is stupid. Now that should work. Get code. Get code. Get code. Now what I can do is n main.c inside this include stdio.h this and main and this and here include send or maybe inside these codes send auth okay / send auth request right and jar pointer URL equals get URL from that and this will get the URL and printf %s comma URL just print the URL and then sleep for like maybe 1 second just without any reason then jar pointer code equals get code and after getting the code printf %s dot code new line and then free URL and free code and I think everything is going to break here and I have to make changes to the make file. Yes, and make.sh and in here I have to say send the output to make the output prog and do main.c, include main.c also, and all of these things. Yeah, that is fine. Sh make.sh error error command failed with 0. Get code, and open SSL and stuff. Okay. Duplicate symbol is complete request. Why? Er, send auth request C. Are there any errors in this file? Nope, there are no errors in this file. Make.sh. What is the problem? Output is program main.c, that is the main file, and if I do this and do make.sh now, oh, it didn't find the main function in it. Okay, okay, okay. I can make the main function empty. I want the main function to return that. I can make the main function empty so that it does have some kind of entry point. Wait, was that one of the errors? Nope. Duplicate symbol this in private. Duplicate symbol. All of these errors are duplicate symbol. Linker command failed with exit code 1. Use this. Okay. Make.sh. Make the main.c file appear again. ls main.c. Yes, that is the name of the file. Make.sh linker. Okay. sh make and make.sh again put v sh make.sh duplicate this. Okay. Private var main and send auth requests. What does it mean? Duplicate symbol handle client, duplicate symbol get URL, handle SSL, and all of these. Send auth rec. Get code which does not do anything. Can I make the main function return? This return type of main is not int. That is an error. So I have to do get code, and here just int main, which just doesn't do anything. Sh make.sh and now shit, did it work? Int main redefinition of main. What? I have main function. Okay. Send request.c. I have to delete that main function. There cannot be two lines in the same jungle, it seems. But clang make.sh duplicate error. That much seems fine. End of search list. That all of that is done by the compiler linker, and in this duplicate symbol is complete request in main and in send auth request. In main and in send auth request. Oh, so if there are duplicate symbols, it means that this thing is being used here and also in here. So why is that a problem? Let's see. That is mine. That this screen is created by me, yours truly. I am getting duplicate symbol error. I have my bad. I have created two C files where one has the main function and it imports some functions from the other file and uses them. You redefine a global variable. Okay, this is OpenURL. How does it know that it is called OpenURL? OpenURL is implemented like this: helper.c helper. That I suppose makes some sense. I have to import a header file, right? And send auth rec.h, and it should contain send auth request.c. It should contain the header file for get good no get code this function and char pointer get URL. It also does not take anything. ev go to the main function, and in here instead of this, what I have to do is h sleep free call to library free with void pointer void. It does return char pointer, right? Okay, let's see, just that much, that works. Sh make.sh, that, and make.sh, remove the v flag, sh make.sh ./out, invalid argument due to some reason. And then this thing, what should I see is I should see something code. Shit, no. Shit, what should I see is this thing. Yes, yep, I will be using this email. I do not care if that gets hacked or something. Here I should see something. Server listening on port, right? And Google taking its time. Is it Google taking its time or me doing something stupid? Because I've been trying to establish OAuth connection, a lot of OAuth connections to this email account, and for the same details, and from the same client for the same user. It is taking its time. And since this is open here, okay. Once again, we will try again. Go for this. Continue. By continuing, Google will share your name, email address, language preference, and profile picture with this. See the down on privacy policy and terms. You can manage sign in with Google. Yep. Redirected person, invalid argument. Redirection didn't work. That does not matter. And okay, stop this and stop this. I don't know how to stop that. Auth a what and send auth dot c. Yep, changes to dot c, and the get code function. Right, this is this just gets the code, and this part HTTP server listing, yes, print that, no problem. Received something except failed. Blind listen socket creation configure client ID. Yeah, that much makes sense. This is make not sh not slash out. My bad. It is called prog, not slash prog, not this. But that should not be a problem, should it? Cannot reach. This took too long to respond. Yes. Okay, so Google is also sending me request, and then I'm getting a request from the browser, I guess. Okay, maybe DuckDNS doesn't point to my latest domain. My domain name changed just right now. If config in0 grep inet id4, I guess that is not what DuckDNS is pointing to right now. Oh, which email is that? Ah, no, it is pointing to the right one, id4. So what? HTTPS listening on port 443. Let me send a request from Postman. I get request. Allow. Ah, okay, that is fine. That is fine. Proc. Okay, that is cool. Bruh. Address already in use. Else of IAP. Okay, the slash prog. Who is using the HTTPS 443? Yo, that is quite a bit of stuff Google trusted. The command itself says trusted. All of these are using that port. Remote PLA, UDP, HTTPS, iTunes, Yellow Postman, OBS, Google, quite a bit of Google stuff. Let me run the program. It is running, and I have copied the URL. We will test it again on this. Continue. Yo. That is cool. That is cool. I'm getting the code. So at least the first part of it is done. But this is not how I want it to be done. Main.out. What the heck is main.out? Main.c. Yes. In this, after getting the URL, I want to send this URL of. I just want the user to be redirected to this URL. How are they going to be redirected? Using this thing, PID. Exit one. Okay, let's close this and start a new conversation. How can I redirect a user to a website from terminal? In C language. question mark. Other system thing. If def apple, then system open this macros. Oh, okay. Okay, I just have to use this. System open HTTPS and example URL. Open space and then the URL. Open space and then the URL. So let me char pointer command equals char pointer yes malloc size of URL plus URL comes before the size of CMD plus size of URL. And what is CMD? CMD is this equals CMD equals open and then space size of CMD. Why use char pointer? Okay, make this this right. I have the command and then I would like to print plus just 2 due to some reason and then I would like to stir copy strcpy stir copy. What is the destination? The destination is copy in the command to use. Yes, what do I want to copy? I want to copy first CMD, right, and call to library function is to copy with this. What is the error? Implicit declaration. Call to undeclared library. C string dot h include string dot h. Yep. Yay. And then after copying that, stir cpy copy into the address of command bracket size of CMD, copy into that what URL. Right, I should have that. Then I can do system this, not this, system command. Let's see if that works. Sh make dot sh. All right, dot slash prog. Okay, let's see. Before redirecting, what was the command that did got made? Yep. For I and for int I equals 0, I less than length of the string CMD and then plus 1 go I plus plus and then put char CMD command I, right, and then again put char 10 int I equals this thing. Right, that looks beautiful. Shit, why is this like that? Okay, does not matter. After this, I copy the same thing and go till the length of CMD itself, command itself, and print everything and the new line. Okay. Therefore, sh make make.sh and dot slash prog. Both of them say open. And because it printed, yes, because what? No. Okay, okay, I guess that makes some sense. Make.sh, it points to that character, not make.sh. Main. Yes, I am not doing a very good job on explaining what I'm doing. So, what is happening here is when I stir copy, I am copying whatever is in this string in this string, starting from its first character, and what I get is open and then a space, and then I also copy the null character which is at the end of it, I suppose. And then what happens is I start from printing at the size of CMD. I print this URL, copy this URL over there. And the size of CMD returns 5, and 5 points to the null character. So there's 4. This should work, but it is not working. So let me use -1 here. The silly little trick. /program and access block. Required parameter is missing a response type. Response type code. Wait, what? Why is it missing that? Open HTTPS account code. Google user content.com and redirect is client ID and then redirection URL. Now.dns and its response type is code. And email is this. Why is it missing a response type? What is the URL that I send this to? Google.com HTTP accounts auth. Then question mark client ID auth error. Okay, auth error. I got auth error. Run the program again and invalid request. Okay, let me inspect network. What was the request? I cannot see the request. Okay, this is the thing, but if I go directly to this by copying pasting, I should not see any error, I suppose. Yep, I do not see any error, but this is not the URL that I am being sent to. The server is running. Fuck. The site cannot be reached. Site can't be reached. Error. Live chat display. If you are a developer of live chat display, then see this. Request delayed. Invalid request. Why it does not contain a response type? But it should contain. So at some point, this thing is being broken. What is that point? And main.c, let me print it as a string, not like this. Not like this. Printf as a string and what command, and then sh make.sh dot slash prog error, and this is how it is being parsed. Client ID and redirect URL, duck DNS and response type. Is everything is fucking there? Then what is the error? Okay, let me use the open command to see how things are. Copy, Control C, not just like directly copy this, open this. That is working. That is working. Open this. Okay. The request URL was not found on this server. Why? Open this. Now it works, right? But if I do open with brackets, then it does not work. Okay, that I guess makes sense. Not slash program. Now also it does not work. Wait, the screen is not stuck, right? Yep, I'm not stuck. Well, at least not on OBS from my side. I might be stuck on your side and I might be babbling this whole time. I don't know. Already on 90 videos, bitch. Okay. Okay. This is not working. And how? What is the error? I am apparently not being redirected to this specific URL that I am specifying here. Why? HTTPS accounts.google.com. That should work. And main.c. It gets the URL and does some stuff with the URL. Okay, what are the other ways that I can redirect the user? Open HTTPS. Yep, let me use it here. System open and space and this thing. Wait, why is there a new line at the end of it? Because yes, I copied it from there. Yes. If I remove this new line, then I should not see a new line there. Let's say main.sh make.sh / I should see a bunch of different things that I should not be seeing. It was blocked. It was blocked. Was make main.c. This thing was blocked, I suppose, and sh make.sh / program, and that is blocked. So yes, there is some serious error on this thing. Copy this from the start. Oh, yes, because HTTP server running on board that. Yes, that is fine. If I were to copy and paste this here, then it will work. But if I am redirecting myself from C, then it is not working. But if I'm doing open this here, then it is working. Here. And main.c. Open this thing. Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. Copy this. If I were to copy this and paste this here and run it, then it works. But when I am calling this function from C, then es funktioniert nicht. Und ich können. I do not know why is this not working. I don't know why this is not working. How do I write this in German? Ich können. Ich können. I know. Ich können, warum es funktioniert nicht. Ich kann nicht, warum es funktioniert nicht. English to German. Oh wait, German to English. Ich kann nicht, warum es funktioniert nicht. Let's see. Ich kann nicht, warum es funktioniert nicht. I don't know why it doesn't work. Fucking hell. There are some grammatical mistakes. Yeah, nicht and nicht. I don't know why it doesn't work. Ich kann nicht, warum es funktioniert nicht. Let's see.
Ich kenne nicht, warum es funktioniert nicht.
And if I were to replace ich weiß nicht, warum es nicht funktioniert. Ich weiß nicht. That is, I don't know. That is the independent clause, and this is the dependent clause. In the dependent clause, the verb that is funktioniert goes at the end, and warum is the conjunction here, and it is connecting this independent clause with this dependent clause. But fuck, I'm making an HTTP server. Fuck that. Yes, open HTTPS accounts. It is working. Okay, so when I am passing this string on to the system, then system is doing something that it should not be doing with it. Of course. Find the percentage. Find the percentage. Yep. Here I want it to be literally percent sign. And this also I want it to be literally the percent sign. Did it and main.c now it should work. Yes, I should change it in the function itself, in the get URL function itself. Send out request. Yep. Find percent. Change this to like literally the percent sign. Change also this to literally the percent sign. And now main.c inside here again. Yes, copying, and then system command. That should work. I hope. I don't pray. I hope. Prog. Fuck. Okay, that is not working. That is also not working. Why is it not working? It says that I have not provided any response type. So the error has to be something related to response type. RESPONSE. The URL is absolutely correct. So the only problem is in the way that it is being handled. Yes. Is it because of this? Backslashes are being literally interpreted as backslashes, and here also. Okay. And well, if that was the case, then everything should have broken earlier. Main.c, but still, let's just see, just in case if that is the case, then find. Wait, fuck, that is / find backslash. Yep, that is the only backslash there. Shit, that is crazy. This thing, I can use this thing. Shit, that is actually crazy. I can use this to just navigate. I didn't knew that. I am stupid. Yes. in this line backslash, I'm getting error before being able to get to redirect URL. So the error is happening somewhere around before that. What is the error? Error. I guess I changed the percentage thing. So that should print properly. Should it? Yes. No. It. Yes. It is being printed properly. And how was it printing before like that? Now, if I were to do optional, copy this, paste this, run this. It is working. It is working. It is working. It is working. Shadow. System bracket this thing. This is not working correctly, but when using this open command on terminal, it is working fine. I think it is just this way in which it is being parsed or something. Running open this in the terminal, but sometimes it can be an issue due to environmental differences. System command might not have the same environment, shell context, security restrictions. Debugging, it says to use single quotes. Let's try and use single quotes. I don't have to use this, I can just go there. Auth.c, close that, close that. Go to the end, and sh make.sh /program. Okay, that was the problem. Okay, now it is working. And if I were to choose anything, continue. Yep, I'm getting the code and everything. That is fucking amazing. So in this whole thing, where am I currently? In the authorization process, I have set get the access tokens. In the get access tokens, your application identifies the parameters it needs. Your application redirects the user along with the list of required parameters. That is done. The user redirects, decides whether to grant permissions. That is done. Your application finds out what the user decided. That is done. If the user granted the request, your application retrieves tokens using the API request on the user's behalf. Yes, that is the only step remaining. Let's redirect to OAuth server using some URL. Google asks for permissions. That is cool. And then handle OAuth response. OAuth response as ways. It can either be this or it can either be this. Code 4 slash some number. Right. Okay, how do I parse this thing? Important. Before handling OAuth response on the server, you should confirm the state received from the Google matches the state sent in. Not for me. Important if your response, okay, reduces the risk of CSRF attacks. Yeah, I mean that would be professional. Right now, it has been too long. It's just 20 streams. It has only been 20 streams. But I want to get this finished. I want to make this ready. Important if your response endpoint renders an HTML page, any resources on that page will be able to see the authorization code in the URL. Okay, sample OAuth response, something like this. Scope response. This is the URL. I am redirected. Shit, nope. You can test this flow by clicking on the following sample link, which requests read-only access to view metadata for the files in your Google Drive and read-only access to your Google Calendar events. Okay, I click that and I'm giving access to my Wolverine file, and this app is blocked. This app tried to access sensitive data into your Google account to keep account safe. Google blocked this access. Fucking hell. That is crazy. Google blocked its own access. After completing the OAuth flow, you should be able to redirect user to OAuth callback or something, which will likely yield a 404 not found error unless your local machine serves a file at that address. The next step provides more detail about the information returned in the URI when the user is redirected back to your application. Exchange authorization code for access token. Yes. To exchange an authorization code for access token, call the HTTPS OAuth Google API token.com endpoint and send the following parameters. Okay, I have to send a request to Google N get token.c, include HTTPIO and main. How do I send a HTTP request using socket? What does it mean in client FT file descriptor or something, and then the server on which I want to send the request to. I only have the URL. So should I use curl to do it? It is HTTP. I should use curl because uh, the following snippet shows a sample request. Content type is application XWW form URL encoded. Okay. I have to send a HTTPS request. So that is cool. This is the kind of request that I will have to send. Um, a new line at the end, and also there are like other things to consider. Uh, right, and here this, do this, do this. That is stupid. Do this and do char pointer request equals this. That is pretty retarded behavior. Request, I want my request. So the first part is going to be like this as it is, and then the second will say yep, that is also cool with me, and there have to be \r \n, yep, and here also \r \n, here also \r \n, and then in here \r \n. Code, this code has to come from somewhere, and in here I have to add two of them since this marks the start of the body. And here then comes the client ID, then comes this. Okay, for this I will be using the CJSON library. Okay, I have to import it. Include CJSON.h, yep, and CJSON interface structure pointer. Yeah, how do I use the CJSON library? I was using it in sendauth.c, close that, and get response. Yes, in this part, JSON.body is JSON create type, add attributes, right, and then get a star body. Okay, right, that much seems cool, but these are not the body and attributes that I want to add. I want to add this stuff. I want, and the first is host, and no, not host. That is static, already added. I need to add the body part, which contains first the code. So the main function, nah. Yes, this cannot even have a main function. This can only have, let's say, call it get token. It will be called get token function, and it will take in what, a char pointer called code, and yep, that is it. A char pointer called code. So what should that be? Code. The key should be code, and shit, it is not JSON. It is fucking hell. It is not JSON. It is not JSON. So I will have to add it on my own. Fuck. This is not the request. This is the header part. Header. So JSON library is of no use here. Right. Okay. In here, header part. Header is till this point. After that, header ends. Now, char pointer body. What does it contain? What does the body contain? Body. Body has to contain code, which is a char pointer. Okay. So I have to add, get some, yeah, get malloc some space. Client ID, then my client ID. Okay. So this will also take another char pointer. Client ID. Client ID. So this would mean that the main function should have access to the client ID. Okay, that is doable. Redirect URL. Oh shit. Where will this send the token? I will have to create a redirect URL. Why do I need the token? I need the token to get access to YouTube. Yes. I need the token to get access to YouTube live chat. And to get the token, I have to create another HTTPS server which will receive something. So I should create another thing, a general function which, given a URL, sends request to that URL and gets back whatever it gets from that. Is that correct? I should create a general function which boots up a HTTPS server on of course 443, and it gets something and then returns the response to me, and from that response I can parse. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and I will do it on my own, like on my own. Yep. Maybe, and tomorrow I will include you guys to what I did. And for today, this is going to be the end of the stream. And yeah, we have made some progress. We are getting fucking like the Google service is working. I got the code. I got the code. And now what remains is getting the token from the code and then writing an API that would get code that would get details about chat from Google. That is it. Yes, I'm waiting it to reach 2 hours so that I can say that I streamed for at least 2 hours. Yep, only 10 seconds more. And yes, I did stream for 2 hours.